All right, let's talk about meditation and starting a meditation practice. I know a lot of people talk about, hey, you should start meditating, how all the benefits of meditating. We're not going to touch so much on that, but we're going to talk about, I think there's a lot of nervousness around starting a meditation practice, and a lot of people that say, like, I'm not good at meditating, that kind of thing. So that's basically what we're going to cover off today. We're going to talk about like sitting positions, all the stuff that comes up through meditation, and how we can look at that as a chance for us to learn from that versus I'm not doing it right kind of idea or mentality around it. So we'll start there. We'll start with seating position. So I think a lot of people think when you're meditating, you have to be in this Zen position and full lotus sitting on the ground. Definitely not true. You guys can do that anywhere, and I have done that anywhere. I've done it laying in bed. I've done it sitting in bed. I've done it sitting on a couch, a chair like this often, or like a table chair, something like that. Especially if you have trouble getting down to the ground, it's going to be so much discomfort for you that's going to be the focus of the practice, is trying to find a comfy position and moving around a lot. That's not ideal. If you're comfortable to get on the ground, that is a great position and good to open up and work on our hips a little bit. Oftentimes tucking a pillow underneath our butt or like a small yoga block, rolled up blanket, anything like that is going to help with that position if you have trouble holding that, and it's just going to lift your hips up a little bit for you. So that's a really important piece, is find something where you can be comfortable. So for a lot of us that spend a lot of time sitting in a chair like this is going to be a comfortable position for us, and getting right down to the ground is not going to be super comfortable. So this is a great place to start. Next, we'll talk over like placement of our body, how we want to be kind of sitting as far as posture. So great way to do it. I tend to not like to really sink way back into the chair. Come more out to the edge so that we can sit really good and upright, because a big part of it is we're going to be concentrating on our breath a little bit. So this gives us more opportunity to get a nice, good, deep diaphragmatic breath and getting into the lower part here instead of always up in our chest. So this allows us to sit up nice and straight. And then next, we got our hands. If we feel like we're anxious, a lot of them go really busy-minded. A really good practice is to take our hands, put them face down. That kind of gives us that grounding energy, versus if we're really tired and need that kind of uplifting a little bit to our day, flipping them upright and kind of bringing in that energy into our body can be a great opportunity. And that's just simple hand placement. So that's another piece of it. And then there's other things as far as like, okay, now how do I actually do the practice of meditation? One, there's great apps like Headspace, Calm, and there's a bunch of other ones. Lots of them have free trials that you can run. There's lots of free meditations on YouTube, stuff like that you can go with. Or my preference is to just sit there, try not to let too many things come up. And when things do come up, just have that idea of them as being like passing ideas instead of holding on to them. So when something comes up, we catch ourselves thinking about it, just letting it go best we can, and then coming back to our breath. So that's going to be kind of the focus of that practice for you, is just closing your eyes and trying to focus on your breath. So what we'll do is we'll take a count of our breath. So on the first inhale, we'll count that as 1, exhale is 2, inhale is 3, exhale is 4, and then restart that so that you're not just counting all the way up. And that gives you something to kind of focus on, is that breath and that little bit of counting, so you're not thinking about all the other things within your day, which you are bound to kind of jump around to, which is where people feel like they are not good meditators, is that they jump around from thing to thing, which is fine. Think of that instead as, I'm not doing a good job of it, as each time that comes up, that's an opportunity for you guys to practice and get better at it, right? So when that comes up, then it's like, hey, clear this out, let it go, and come back to that breath. So what we want to do, counting our breath and then just kind of getting a feel and kind of moving our thought and our processes inward, so that we just are seeing like, where do we feel that breath? Do I feel it in the front of my abdomen? Do I feel it in the side? Do I still feel it up on my chest? And just feeling, where do I get that most expansion and most closing in? And just think of that, your body is just fully expanding and fully contracting with your breath. We don't have to push for extra long breaths or certain types of breath, big breath, small breath, just a normal breath, but just kind of pay attention to where you're feeling it. That's what we're going to try and do to help bring that energy inward. Other great options are to kind of think of a spot just behind kind of your eyes here, about an inch or two behind that, and that takes you into that kind of inward thinking part of your brain where you're not going to be thinking about exactly how much, like what you feel so much, as it gives you room there to kind of clear your mind, if that makes sense. So that's where we want to start that. I often will start people off at 3, 5, 10 minutes, something short like that. You don't have to do these long 20-minute, half an hour, hour-long meditations. A really good place to start is, I would say, that 3 to 5 minutes. Concentrate on slowing your breath down just a little bit from your day-to-day and just feeling where that breath is. And you're going to start to notice changes just with that. And then another important piece in that is making sure that we're doing it on a regular enough basis to start to see the benefits of it. You are going to get a small amount of benefit from just each time you sit down and you do that practice, because you're going to help down-regulate your nervous system a little bit with that. But where we really get the benefit is when we start doing this every single day, taking 5 minutes out of our day to sit down and have that little meditation. And I know a lot of the times we have really busy, stressful lives, and that's why people are recommending to us, like, hey, you should try meditation, stuff like that. And it feels like we just don't have time for that. But if you don't have 5 minutes in your day, it's not that you don't have time, it's that you're mismanaging your time. Every single one of us has 5 minutes in our day. I don't care how busy anyone is, 5 minutes is not that much time, because I know everyone spends 5 minutes on social media in a day. So you have 5 minutes, you just need to prioritize that time. So 5 minutes out of the day, each day, I would try to do it at the same time each day. So if that's a morning routine thing for you, or an evening routine, maybe it's midday on your lunch break at work, whatever it is that works for you, find a time that you can do consistently and start to put in these little practices and routines and habits, that kind of stuff into your life, and you're going to notice a big change with those. So hopefully that helps you guys with the positioning and that thought process of, like, I'm doing this wrong, I'm not doing it right. Start to see it every time that you feel like you're not doing it right as an opportunity to learn and get better, and learn to let those things go and go back inward. That's another opportunity for you to do that. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys on meditation. If you guys want to know more about meditation or have me take you through a guided meditation at some time, let me know in the comments and I will be happy to do that for you guys.